Hi, I'm Howard Rugg, and today I'm going to recondition this oak table. The table has 1/2-inch pins in it, and I'm going to change them to 3/8 pins. I'm also going to rejoint the two joints here, and then I'm going to make 2 leaves. The pins that are in here are in relatively good condition. So I'm going to just pull them out and then re-glue them back in place. I'm using a vice grips to grab the end of the pin, and then I'll just tap it out of the hole. Put a little glue on it. And put it back in. And when it sets up, well, cut it off flush to the table. I'll also be plugging the holes on the other side with 1/2-inch dowels. And after that's completed, well, I will come back and show you the next step. We're all set up, the glue's dry, so now I'm going to cut the pins off, flush them up, so I can put new pins in. Now, this table edge is relatively straight. Well, it looks like it's not coming up tight. And it looks like the apron is hitting down here. So I'm going to take a little bit off of the apron, just clamp it together with a clamp to hold it while I cut it with a saw. My little saw. Just go right down through. It takes a little bit more off. It's a nice clean joint. There we go. Well, it's not a really nice, perfect joint. So I'm going to rejoint this seam. Well, I've sanded the table, and now I'm ready to do the joint. As you can see, the joint is in pretty wide condition. When I pull it up, it doesn't go up real tight. This is the straight edge that I'm going to use. It's just a piece of maple which I jointed, and I planed it to a 1/2-inch thick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right on that edge there, and we're just going to take a hair off, because I really don't need to take a lot off. There's no deep dings in this edge. It's just a little bit warped from age. But I want the surface to be slightly slanted like this when I route it, so that the bit will undercut down below, so that when the table comes together, it's going to make the seam joint right at the top and be slightly open at the bottom. That way we'll have a nice tight joint. So I used blue masking tape for that. So I'll just make a mark where the edge of my straight edge is right here. Get this out of the way. And then I'm going to lay one, 4 strips to build up that surface, so it's got a very slight slant. And we'll just clamp this in place, just leaving a hair, just enough so we take a hair off. Clamp, see, clamps, clamp it in place. One on each end. This piece of maple has a slight warp, and I put the warp down in an attempt to keep it down in the center. Since you have a problem with it getting down in the center, you can use, what I use is, I just use one of these deep throat clamps, clamp it down. That way I'll probably have to take 2 passes when I do that. So I'll put it in the center and clamp it this way. There we go. So now we're all down and ready to join it off. I'll be using a pattern bit, a 3/4 inch pattern bit, 1 inch cutter with a top bearing. The bearing will ride against the pattern and it'll cut a nice straight edge across. And cut backwards. I'm going to have to move my clamp so I can finish it off. Okay, now we'll finish it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, let's try it. See how it looks. Close enough. You can see that's much better. Now we can go on to putting the new pins in.